Hello everyone, welcome to Tech Sharmit. In this session, we will discuss about another type of join, which is right exception join. Now, if we talk about the definition, then right exception join is a type of join which fetch all the record from the right table that do not have any matching record in the left table. Okay. So if you are already following this entire series for the joins, then you know that in our previous session, we discussed about the left exception join. So it is somehow the vice versa condition where we use the right exception join. Okay, so it is just opposite of the left exception join. Now, what are the condition where we can utilize this right exception join and how we can write the query for it? To explain all these things, I will show you one demo, and there I will use two tables as for the demo purpose. So let me show you that. So here these are the queries that I have already executed in order to create the table, and also I have stored some test data here. Okay, so just focus on the first table. The first table name is players, where we have two columns, player id and player name. Player id is of integer type and player name is of varchar 255. Then I just set the primary key, player id as a primary key. Before after that, so this is all about the first table. Then we have second table with the name ODI record, where we have three fields: player ID, best ODI score, and ODI centuries. So now I will show you, firstly I will show you the data, then we'll understand the requirement. So suppose we have these two table, and during the live cricket match we want to show all the players or all the record which is present in ODI record, but there is no available. Let's say I'm managing that these table data, so I want to check like what are the tables that do not have any matching record in players table, because we need to update that, right? So in that case, what I can do, I can use this right exception join. So let me run one query for you. Select star from Sharmit1 slash players. So this is my first table. If I hit enter, you can see it is printing player ID and player name. So these are the test data I have already stored. Now this is the left table, and in case of right exception join, the priority would be given to the right table only. So let's see the right table data. Same query I am running. Select star from Sharmit1 slash, and my table name would be ODI record. Okay. If I hit enter, you can see there are some records that do not have any matching record in the players table. For example, 80 and 90. Player ID 80 and 90 do not have any matching record in players table. So let's see again. You can see there is no record for player ID 80 and 90. So we are interested only in those player ID which do not have any matching record in the left table or players table. So to achieve this, what we will do, we will use the right exception join query. So let me copy it from here. So in right exception join query, what we are doing, we are selecting o1.playerID, o1.best ODI score, o1.ODI centuries from players table as P1. This is the keyword right exception join on ODI record, o1 on p1.playerID equal o1.playerID. So when we hit enter on this, you can see it is only fetching those records that do not have any matching record in the left table. So this is the reason why I am saying that it is just opposite the left exception join. In our previous session, we discussed about the left exception join, so it is just opposite to that. Okay, so this is all about the query. Like whatever the fields we are referring with, o1 dot is coming from the ODI records table, because we are using alias o1 for this table. Similarly, the value which are prefixed with p1 dot is coming from the players table, because here we are using alias p1. Okay, so here also we can use as in order to show that this is the alias name. but this is also fine. So this is all about the query. Now we will see how we can utilize the same inside a SQL rpgle program. So for that, what we need one constant with the name SQL state underscore valid, where we have stored the value as 5 times 0, and this constant we will use to verify the query after its execution, because whenever any query execute, it returns some SQL state. If that SQL status code is matched with this 5 times 0, or you can say SQL state underscore valid, then it means the query is executed properly. Otherwise, we need to take care and we need to handle the errors. Okay, so this constant we will use just for the verification purpose. After that, I have declared data structure. So in my data structure, because this data structure I'm going to use as a host variable, so instead of passing separate host variable values for all the columns, we can create one data structure as I'm doing here, and inside that data structure I have declared subfields. Okay, so these are the subfields. Now afterwards, what I'm doing, I'm setting the and these are the values which we are retrieving. So I just declare these values like player ID, best ODI score, and ODI centuries. Afterwards, we are setting the commit option to star none. So you can see commit equals to star none, and then we are declaring the cursor. So to declare the cursor, I'm writing declare get ODI records scroll cursor for, and this is the query. So just verify the query before executing the program. So let me copy this and paste it here. Firstly, we need to clear this part, otherwise the query will overlap and it may cause any issue. So better to clear your command line and then paste, and then hit enter after removing the semicolon. So you can see it is providing the desired result. Okay, so it means our cursor is okay. After that, we are just opening it. So here I'm running exec SQL in order to open the cursor, and my cursor name is get ODI records. Then we are fetching the data. So I'm running one loop till SQL state is equal to SQL state underscore valid. Right now it is valid, means it is valid because we just opened the cursor and this is working fine. So after that, I'm checking for the SQL. I'm again running the query for fetching the record. So fetch next from get ODI record, which is my cursor name, into host variable ds. So if we were not using the data structure as a host variable, then at this place we need to pass multiple variables, separate variable. Just to avoid that thing, I declared one data structure and I'm using the same here. Okay, so it will save the lines of code. Then I'm checking for the SQL state. If SQL state is equal to 0 is equal to 2000, that means end of file occur. So you can also declare a constant for this thing also, like end of file. You can create one constant as we have declared for SQL state underscore valid. Similarly, you can make SQL state equal to end of file, something like this, hyphen underscore end of file. So you can declare it. Okay, so here I'm checking if end of file occurred, then we will just display end of file and simply leave the loop. Else if there is any other SQL state it is returning, then it means there is something wrong. So we are just printing error encountered. Else we are printing the all fetched value. So here I'm printing w underscore player ID, w underscore best ODI score, w underscore ODI centuries. So these are the required data we have printed. Then endif, end2, and at last we are just closing the cursor. So here I'm writing exec SQL close get ODI records and closing the cursor. Then I'm turning on the star INLR to star on. So let's quickly compile this program and call it. You can see it is printing the value 80, 500, 500, 90, 200, 100, and end of file. So this is what we were looking for. So yeah, that's how we can utilize the write exception join query inside sqlrpgle program. So I hope it is clear to all of you how to use write exception join. what are the requirement of using write exception join, and how we can use the same inside sqlrpgle program. So yeah, that's all for this session. I hope it is clear to all of you. In the next session we will discuss few more things. So thank you for watching Tech Sharmit.